Hey y'all. How y'all doing? I did a little light research for this, but it's called America is being repopulated, not depopulated. So this is kind of going off some of my old videos, but one of the things that I think is most important for us to fix now is the illegal immigration epidemic. I mean, it's pretty dang bad, and it's going on all around the world, and we have to get it under control over here. I saw this video, I think, last night, and it was about, I think it's from a man called Randall Taylor, RKTNN. You can check his YouTube if you want, but he was saying that he had contacts down by the south of the border, and it's getting really bad down there in the south, and they have a line of illegals waiting to come in. So it gives you a good picture as to the flow of people coming, how big the flow is. Moving on, there's a number of factors that they all came together to have me make this video, to have me say that we're being repopulated instead of depopulated. Now, the depopulation comes along the way, but the repopulation is what matters. Okay, so if we get repopulated, of course, crime will go up and all that. That's easy, but it's more important to know that they'll gain the votes. These illegals that are coming through, majority are low skill, low educated, so they're going to be a lot easier to be manipulated by the media, and by politicians and lobby groups and all that, into gaining those votes. So let's get back on focus. One of the steps, I see that is going to happen. So I talked about Netflix. Now let's pay attention to Netflix. Netflix is very, very cheap, so it's easily accessible to a lot of the population. Okay, so we've got to take that into account. Obama is a lead producer. Susan Rice is a member of the board of directors, and then of course Michelle is working with Obama. So I saw on Netflix this comedian. Her name is Michelle Wolf, and she was this horrible comedian that gave a speech at the White House Correspondents' Dinner. You can look that up too. She is a plant of the deep state. The reason why I say that is because she had some program on the Netflix, and basically she was giving a salute to abortion. So obviously, if you look at it, you can check it out, but it's laced with feminism, and the man can't tell you what to do, and how dare you hold the women back and their rights to kill the kids. But it's all about abortion, supporting abortion. So if we have Hollywood that's pushing for the American population to lower their birth rate, we also have to take into account the feminism that has been pushed, through the media outlets, programming people, feminism at this point, and I completely love women, and they deserve rights and all of that, but the feminism has turned it into man against woman, and the woman has to have power no matter what. No ifs, no ands, nothing. That's wrong. So feminism, which was, in my opinion, back in the 1800s, 1900s, I think it was a very noble cause, but now it's been perverted. So let's see. Feminism has destroyed families and incentivized single parenthood. It eventually traps you into poverty. There's one thing I have, if there's any feminists that look at this, don't y'all have any concern of the oppressed women around the world? Don't y'all care about the human rights and stuff like that? So what about those women around the world? Just saying. Let's see. And let's see what I have written down here. So it looks like if you want to love a woman, love is like sexism, because a man is naturally going to want to provide for a woman and to show her affection and, to give her compliments, gifts, and stuff like that. Well, some of the feminists will be completely insulted by that, thinking that you're trying to, treat them like they're less than or whatever. And it's just in a guy's nature, guys like to provide for a woman, Let's see. Oh yeah, feminism's also convinced women that a family is a burden. You don't have to take my word for that. You can ask, other women who may have gone to Planned Parenthood, and you can see they'll tell you all about the tactics that Planned Parenthood pulled against them. A lot of these women are psychologically traumatized behind these abortions as well. So that's not going to help building a family in any way. And one thing that I really do care a lot about, and I read, and I wish I could read more if I had time, but is my Holy Bible. And going back on the Holy Bible and Adam and Eve, remember, the serpent deceived Eve. Then Eve deceived Adam. The serpent did not deceive Adam. That's why feminism is so successful. The serpent said that Eve would be like God. Okay? Gave her the world, gave her everything, that kind of stuff. But that's something that was written about, thousands of years ago, and it still applies today. How powerful is that? Okay. So while the American society, is being programmed, and everybody, but the American society is taking in this feminism. I've heard about some kind of group coming up. It's called the MGTOW, and that stands for Men Going Their Own Way. So with the MGTOW, it seems like a majority of these men, have had bad relationships with women, or maybe their mothers, an ex, or friends, something like that, to where they get tired of it and they walk away. They're tired of the drama and all that crap, or they're tired of always being blamed for everything, So let's see. Because of this rise of MGTOW, the feminists that I've noticed, they kind of depict them as effeminate or bitter, But I think that the MGTOW is a move of self-preservation. Okay. And it's actually, I believe, it's a result of the feminism, the whole MGTOW movement, and then it's also a result of generational corruption. So it's not a matter of, this has only been going on for a little bit. This has been going on for many decades in America. So all of that being put together, I came to the conclusion that this would lead to a lower birth rate. Well, after doing some light research, it appears that we are currently in negative birth rates. I'm going to say that one more time. It's negative. Population's going down, okay? So the American people are in the negative birth rates, and it's pretty bad. It's a very serious issue. So while all of this strife is going on in between us, men and women, and then the other dichotomies, black versus white or kid versus adult, but I'm trying to focus on our population. So while all these things are going on with man against women, I noticed that the illegals, their programs and stuff that they look at, the music that they listen to, it doesn't seem like there's too much like tearing down of each other in their type of programming. It's more family supporting, it's more baby making type music and programs and novellas and stuff like that, so I find it strikingly obvious, because when I listen to the rap stations, I think in Houston we got like 3 or 4 of them. There's a lot of, they got some sick beats or some cool bars or whatever, but a lot of them are teaching destructive habits, destructive behaviors, and that eventually leads to a lower population, you know, maybe through poverty, crime, whatever. Um, and then the illegals, and the stuff they listen to, I don't necessarily see all or hear, all these destructive principles or ideologies being taught to their population. So my conclusion is, the programming that a lot of us have gone through has led to the negative birth rates we have right now, and the programming that the illegals are getting at this time is leading to a rise in their birth rate. They are already incentivized with through their anchor babies. So through the culture and the finances, they're incentivized to repopulate us. Add on to that they may be low skill, or add on to the fact that they may be maybe have a low education, or maybe they share the hardship that they were going through in their country, or maybe they're just racist. The final thing I say is, I believe that these legals are going to go out of their way to hire each other and just look around everywhere, everywhere anyone has a job, and you come to that conclusion yourself. Now, I live down here in the South, and that's what I believe is going on. And if anybody is up north, maybe I appreciate it if you said something, but because I really am curious to what's going on up north. So, but that's pretty much everything, guys. The last thing I'll say about that before I wrap it up is, a lot of these illegals, of course, are being programmed to hate our president and to despise his country and to love their country, So take all of those talking points, put them together, and I'm sure somebody somewhere knows something. If you do, if you have any extra news or something I don't know, please comment. But all of that together is going to lead to America being repopulated and overwhelmed with illegals. And those illegals will be utilized to, push the class warfare, and then push the politics with the class warfare. So, that took some light research, took a couple hours, but that's what I think. And if you like the video, please like it, please subscribe. I'm going to keep on looking into it, and just know that when you're trying to figure out the deep state, nothing's direct. Kind of like the velociraptors, on the Jurassic Park, they always attack from the side, or they attack from behind. So when you try to figure out the deep state or understand how they work, remember that they work indirectly. All right, God bless y'all. Y'all have a good day.